Hey, everybody, welcome to another weekly AMA with myself, Ethan Zerka, and over
Sakib
to
Alam.
my left, Sakib Alam. I don't know how it's oriented on your screen, but that's how it's oriented on my screen, hopefully. It didn't look weird. I was pointing like off into outer space or anything. Really exciting AMA that we've got going on today because we're going to be doing the Monopoly drawing for members to come here to the UAE and visit our operations and participate in our operations. Well, not our private operations, but the monopoly setup of operations. And we're really excited to share that with you guys and have you guys be a part of that. And um, knowledge is power.
Exactly.
Information is power. And the more information that you guys know, hopefully you can go out and spread this knowledge on other projects. And, you can clearly see the difference
Yeah.
from what the other projects are doing versus what we're doing. And I don't want to say that they're taking advantage of people, but they're just preying on people's ignorance,
And
and I
greed.
feel that's ignorance and greed, and I feel like that's a really irresponsible thing to do. I think
Hmm.
genuine projects in the space should be focused on the quality of their business and their operations and their experience in the industry and leveraging that to provide opportunity for the members and the holders of the project to benefit from that. And we just, that's how we got into this space in the beginning, is we just saw too many that were collecting people's money just to try to figure out something and making outrageous claims like, we've got the best power rate of 6 cents all in. And me and Sakib, we're shaking our heads and we're like, they ain't gonna make it.
No.
That's not gonna cut it. And it's because you guys, the everyday people, you don't know, like, your home power bill, your residential power bill is what, 11 cents?
Yeah.
If it's really good, it might be 10 cents, it might be 8 cents. So you hear 6 cents and you're like, wow, that's cheaper than what I pay for my electricity. That
Hmm.
must be a good deal. But it's not. In the mining space, it's absolutely not. Um, Sakib and I had a really interesting week
Yes.
this week. We got to close. Well, it's not entirely close. We negotiated the price. So we negotiate the price. We agree on the price. Then we get their real estate agent to send us over the contracts. Of course, we've got to evaluate the contracts, make sure there's nothing that needs changing. But
Hmm.
I don't foresee any complication in this matter, and that's going to happen on Monday, Sakib. Is
Monday.
that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. We're meeting with the agent on Monday. So
So I'll let you elaborate about that.
sure.
Why don't you go into some detail?
Yeah. We met with the seller of the farm, and we negotiated the price with him. The next steps are going to be the seller is going to give an NOC, which means it's a no objection certificate, which means he has no objections to us taking over the land and the infrastructure. And we are going to send that over to the owner of the land, and the agent will have the current agreement amended.
Now, yeah, doesn't that mean that the owner also has to give a no objection certificate as well? So the current leasee and the owner have to both agree not to
Hmm.
object for us to assume over this property and this infrastructure. And then from that point, once we have that, we amend the lease and then we go and we submit the amended lease with the no objection from the
Hmm.
current holder and the landowner. And then we get an majority, right? Which is
Yes,
basically the registration of the contract.
correct. That's
All right.
a government
And
document that basically shows that, our name is on the lease, that this is the term, this is the rental price, and all of that.
well, it's just a registration. It's an
Yeah.
official registration with the government. And without that registration, it's not actionable by law, meaning
Hmm.
if I don't know, we weren't to pay the rent or, somebody were to do something wrong, there would be no legal recourse. We wouldn't be protected under the renting rights that are the laws of the land. And I also learned something pretty interesting too, that there are kind of two layers of law of the
Hmm.
land. So there's constitutional law, which is very similar, I guess, to any modern first world country where, they have a parliament or things like that, where the citizens abide by, these sets of laws, and not just citizens, but expats, anybody basically in the country have to abide by these laws. And they address things like business, and I guess maybe you would even call it civil.
Yeah, I would
It would
say
be like
anything
civil law.
anything to do with citizens or expats, anyone living in the country or coming in for
Right.
tourism even.
And then they have another layer to that, like a royal court, like almost
Yes.
like a monarch law. And
Hmm.
would that be Shira law, Sakib?
Yeah,
Help me.
that is based on Sharia law, and that is only
Okay.
for the royals, basically for the sheikhs and their extended
Okay.
family.
So, if you're directly involved with the royalty over here, then you have to adhere not only to the constitutional laws, but you also have to adhere to, the royal court's laws and things like that.
Hmm.
And we've been asked many times if we can get, more power. Instead of doing 1 megawatt per one plot of land, can we do 10? Can we do 20?
Hmm.
Something like that. And what we found out is that the royal families do have the ability to get bigger power upgrades. But in order to do that, they have to go through the royal courts and get authorization to do that.
Hmm.
And we found, because of, first of all, our lack of understanding of the Shira law and things like that. And secondly, because there's more red tape involved, that they have to go and they have to plead their case and get a royal ruling and things like that. Um, we've decided not to go in that direction. We know some companies that are trying to go in that direction, but they've kind of been stuck
Yeah,
for quite some time. I mean, it's like 8 months and counting now that they
yeah.
they still haven't been able to get that 5 megawatt approval. And the people that we're interacting and we're doing business are kind of the everyday Emiratis. They're
Hmm.
not the royals. And so they're beholden to the standard constitutional law, which we're also beholden to. And so it
Correct.
kind of puts us on an even playing field. Whereas, if there's a dispute or disagreement, we're nobody has an advantage.
Correct.
And I wanted to point that out because a lot of people, especially, and I'm guilty as charged as a North American, I thought the only law of the land over here was that royal court law. And if
Hmm.
you did something offensive, if I looked at somebody's kneecap the wrong way, I was going to go to jail and I was going to be locked up for forever and ever and ever. And that's kind of been a major point of resistance that we found, trying to bring our connections and our contact in the industry, um, to be welcome to the opportunity that's over here, because it's absolutely phenomenal. I learned a new thing this week as well. Well, first of all,
Hmm.
I kind of want to go through the whole story. Um, I met my first true Emirati citizen this week. Now,
Hmm.
obviously, you walk, down the streets or on the sidewalk or in the mall or something like that, you'll see them everywhere. But I never had the opportunity to shake, somebody's hand and converse with them one on one. And what it was, Zayed is his name?
Zayed,
Zaid?
yeah, Zayed,
Zaid, he could not have been like a nicer guy.
yeah.
He was just so nice and so warm and so friendly. He was based out of Abu Dhabi,
Hmm.
and he was so kind, it's not that long away. The Emirates are, it's not that big of a country really. And
Hmm.
to American scale, it really isn't. But, an hour drive is an hour drive. And he drove about an hour to meet with us face to face. Really nice guy, very friendly, very helpful. And it was just, it was nothing like I expected coming into this country. I had these kind of preconceived notions that, I was going to have to be extra careful. And no, I mean, obviously, if you do something stupid over here,
Hmm.
if you get drunk and you start, like doing slaloms in the 4 lanes of traffic, and so you're going to get in trouble, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to get in trouble anywhere for doing that. Maybe not Japan. Japan is the only place on earth where I literally, this is a fun story. I used to go to the police station with a bottle of Jack Daniels, and me and the police chief would like pour shots all night while there was a prostitution house running just right behind the police station. And we would just shoot the shit. And that's the only place on earth I know where you can just, kind of shoot the shit with the law, and it's all good. Um, but as long as you're not doing something phenomenally ignorant and stupid over here, you're
Hmm.
fine. I have no fear. I don't feel like somebody's watching over. As a matter of fact, I feel like somebody's watching over my shoulder more in the United States
Yes.
than I
Yeah.
do here.
Especially now with all
In
these
the
like
United
public
States,
shootings and all that. I mean, the safety
well,
issue.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, here, I think I don't want to say everybody keeps to themselves, but I mean, you're not going to find anybody trying to get in your business. Like,
Hmm.
in the little neighborhood where I lived in the United States, you know, uh, you got people always trying to get in your business, like, oh, is that your cat? And, just asking you stupid questions, like, oh, I like the way your yard looks, you mowed it really well. I mean, I guess it's a nice, formality or whatever, but me, when I'm out on my front porch and I'm focused on doing business and I've got a million, messages and emails and texts to go through, the last thing that I need is some random stranger walking on my street just trying to chat me up for the next 30 minutes,
Yeah,
Like, those
exactly.
kind of things annoy me. I know it doesn't bother everybody. Some people are more outgoing and that's, like, a good thing for them. For me, I just kind of want to just chill and be left alone. And I feel like I get more of that here. I mean, obviously, well, I'm friends with all the kids in the neighborhood here. So it was really nice today. I was doing my evening walk, and you guys are kind of familiar with that.
Hmm.
And one of the things that I really missed when I went back to the United States is seeing all the kids playing out in the streets here because that's what they do. Every
Yeah.
evening they go out and they play in the streets and they have a good time. And I hadn't seen that since I'd been back. But tonight they all came out and they were all playing and they remembered me. They're like, "Hey, Ethan, how you doing? Long time no see." And no, those kinds of conversations I don't mind having at all. Like I'll chat with kids, all day long. Um, and it's just really nice to see them and that they remember me and that they're enjoying life over here.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I have a
yeah,
daughter here, who's Amira, who's 4 years old, and she's made friends. Like she has a friend that goes to the same school right next to me, and then right across the street, there's two twins that also like now that she's got like a whole gang, and they come over every day. And today she came over. They come over
she's
with their
like
fa
the friend queen, right?
Yeah, they came over with their families today, and like we got introduced and all that, and yeah, it feels great, and I really feel safe and secure here in the UAE, which is very different than a lot of the preconceived notions that people may have about the UAE.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, this idea that the government here is corrupt and, it's just as bad as Uzbekistan or Kazakhstan or any of the stands or, Argentina, Venezuela, Paraguay. I mean, it's apples and oranges. It
Hmm.
really is.
Yeah,
It's apples and oranges in comparison. And to make things even sweeter, guys, we found out through the negotiation of this contract that our actual power cost for this plot of land is, what is it, 4.3 fills,
yeah,
Saqib?
4.5 fils per kilowatt hour.
4.5 fills.
Hmm.
All right. And Saqib, do you want to share your screen and see what that translates into US dollars?
Sure, yeah. Let me do that here real quick. Uh, Hold on here. Share your screen. Just give me 1 second here. Okay. Can you? Uh,
Saqib's got his trades up. I love it.
you know me, man. So that will be point
Point
zero
zero
four
four
five.
five.
So that's 1.2 cents per kilowatt hour.
1.2 cents.
Yeah.
There's no other place on earth where you can get 99.9% grid uptime power, right? For that price in a place that is safe, family oriented, that has a constitution and laws that not only protect the citizens, the everyday citizens, but also the expats equally.
Hmm.
And, you know, now you guys know. You see these projects coming in, hey, we got 3 cents, we got 4 cents, we got, whatever. It does not compare. The
Yeah.
risks that they are taking to get that low cost don't need to be done. this is the place, folks. This is where it is. And that's why I am happy to say we are doing a promotion to bring you guys here so you can see it for yourselves, so you can get a firsthand experience. I don't know how many of you guys would want to hop on a plane and fly to Venezuela or Argentina or Paraguay. But it seems to me most of you seem very excited about coming here to Dubai, and we're excited to have you guys here as well. We're excited to show you our operations. We're excited to bring you to a conference, which is going to be what, Blockchain Life?
Blockchain Life, yes. From
And
October 24th to 25th.
this is the one we went to in February, correct, Saki?
Yeah, let me just bring that up here so I can,
Same one that we went to in February.
yeah.
And we made a lot of connections at this conference. I almost want to say, I don't, we were always working really hard to make the right connections and to have a breakthrough. But serendipitously, I want to say that our breakthroughs over here happened kind of at the same time as going to this conference. And what's really cool about this conference is it's not like the conferences we go to in America. And I'm not going to blast the American conferences because I think each conference kind of has its own vibe
Hmm.
and its own good points and bad. One of the things that I really like about this conference is how international and global it is,
Yes.
right? So we really made a lot of contacts with Chinese vendors. We made a lot of contacts with Eastern European vendors, a lot of contacts with European vendors, and we got exposure to build and grow our network and diversify our network well beyond what we would do in the American conferences.
Yeah.
And oh, Tony Vase is going to be there.
Yeah,
Holy
Tony
crap.
Vase. Fred Thiel is going to be there. I believe Paulo Arduino,
Okay.
CTO of Tether, is going to be there. I
So
mean,
yeah, let's see. Let's go through the who's who and see who I can set up maybe a one-on-one with you Monopolians when you come and visit. Fred, we might be able to get in touch with him.
mhm.
Um, Tony might be able to get in touch with him and do a one-on-one with him.
And it
Let's
looks
see. I know
like,
Andreas.
yeah, Andreas, Tone Vase, Andreas Anopoulos. And the really exciting thing I think about this conference is the What's Miner M60s are going to be released there. And so the CEO of What's
Oh,
Miner,
that's another thing too. Yeah, you guys are going to get to see the debut release of the What's Miner M60, and as you guys may have noticed, we're kind of What's Miner's fan.
hmm,
Um, just because we find their products to be superior in so many ways
yeah,
compared to what else is out there on the market. And it's, a big mistake that people make in this space, especially if they're new, is they want to save every little penny that they possibly can. And there's nothing wrong with pinching pennies, right?
hmm,
But for saving, let's say 5%, 8%, even 15% off of, a 1 megawatt order, and 30 to 40% of that order is brand new, but it's just defective out of the box. It doesn't work. It's giving you headaches. And for 3 years, you've got to struggle back and forth trying to get these machines repaired, trying to get them operational, try to get them running. Did you really save anything, guys?
yeah,
You
exactly.
lost out on 40% of your operational earnings just because you were trying to save 15% up front.
Yeah,
And experience tells us go ahead and pay an extra 5, 10, 15%. Just do it and have a 99.9% uptime. It's worth it. You make that money back. And it's a huge mistake that's constantly made over and over and over and over again in this space, in this industry, and we don't fall for it. We did, I guess in the beginning, right, Sagib?
yeah,
We all wanted to save a buck in the beginning, right? You start out with GPUs and you're like, oh, I'm going to buy these used GPUs, and you found like these things were cooked. They were
exactly.
overclocked to the hilt. They were all cooked and burnt out, and like you were telling me, like every other day you were going back to the farm and you're having to like reboot everything, and then you had to buy these special power adapter things
Yes.
so you could network into them and reboot them. I mean, you were just doing crazy stuff. Knowing that, would you try to save that money now in the
No,
future? Would it be
no,
worth it to you?
no, not at all.
No,
Again, yeah. The time
no, not at all.
spent and the energy spent, I could just expand my operations without having to just fix, you know,
Absolutely. You spent your resources just trying to get what little you had up and running and getting an ROI out of it
yeah,
instead of if you'd bought, if you paid a little bit more, bought solid gear, then you would be able to use those proceeds and those profits to grow. But
exactly.
you weren't able to do that, right?
No,
And that's a huge, common mistake I see over and over happen in the industry. Another thing that they're doing is, and it depends on your situation, folks. If you're in the right place, then you can make power plays like we did, where we bought some really good, cheap. I mean, these were reliable, but they were cheap, used S19s. We knew we'd be able to ROI on them in less than 3 months. And we're
hmm,
just going to pound out the ROI. We're going to liquidate them, and then we're going to upgrade to better gear. You can make moves like that, but that's
yeah,
not something you want to start off in this business, in this industry doing. You don't want to do that because without those years and years of history under your belt, there's just too much of a propensity to make a mistake, and it's not worth it. It's too much risk, too much gamble.
exactly.
Yes, yes. Crypto antiquity, 1.2 cents for a first world country with a full constitution that protects the rights of citizens and expats alike, with grid power, 99% uptime. It's unheard of. I don't know of
Where,
any place on
yeah,
earth that that can give you that.
exactly. Where we're licensed to mine and it's legal, there's no loopholes or anything that we have to
Yeah.
go through. It's all above board. So it doesn't really get any better than that.
Well, here's the loophole. Here's the loophole. The loophole is this. They've now stopped issuing licenses.
Right.
So only 30 or so companies were issued licenses. Of those 30 companies, 17 were issued a license to be able to cloud mine, which basically means to mine for another company or mine on behalf of another project, anything beyond self mining.
Hmm.
So all of the other licenses, the remaining licenses can self mine. Now, of these 30 licenses that they're now no longer accepting applications for, you cannot get a license to do this activity. There are only two that are allowed to do power upgrades.
Hmm.
And that's us and one of our really good friends, Saeed,
Hmm.
who's been in the area for quite some time. And we're
Yeah.
good friends with Saeed, and he's a powerful guy to know, a great resource, a great contact to have. And we're so grateful. Hopefully, we can introduce you guys to him when you come and visit. So
Yeah.
grateful to be working with him side by side, creating the standard. And the reason why we're the ones that are allowed to upgrade power and no one else is because we have the trust of the government. We have the trust of the local government, the local planning department. They put in a change, what was it, about a month ago,
Yeah.
where they basically did a
Month and
freeze
a
on
half.
all power upgrades
Yeah.
about a month and a half ago. And at first, we were kind of in a panic, like, oh crap. But, after talking to the powers that be, they said, no, like, it's because of you guys we froze everybody else out. You guys are operating at an elevated standard, and we want to make sure that everyone else, conforms to that or better. And we recommended that they do a panel upgrade.
Hmm.
So they now use a different
Air
technology for
tapped.
their master panel that comes in off the transformer, and it's got a much better ability to sense load and to switch off if there is an overload. And beyond that, it actually will report to the
Hmm.
power company if it does have a trip. So they can come out and they can, examine, like, what's going on, how did it overload, things like that. And it's because of these suggestions and this kind of increase in safety that we've, recommended that they elevate to, that they trust us and they want to continue working with us. And Sakib and I have some other exciting things. Is it too early to maybe bring up our turnkey possibilities? We're coordinating with several North American vendors to
Yeah.
basically create a turnkey solution where, instead of us having to build a physical structure on site and a separate electric room and things like that. We want to make a certified complete system that will basically get streamlined through the approval process, because as it is now, we've got to build a structure, we've got to get somebody out to inspect the structure, make sure it's structurally sound, and then we've got to run the electrical, so we've got to get another inspector in, make sure that's sound, and so on and so forth. What we want to do is just streamline the whole process. We want to have a pre-manufactured system, including the transformer, that we can literally just bring on site, run up to the medium tension lines, drop down, and we're good to go.
Yeah.
Everything's approved, everything's ready to run.
A modular system
So I'm
that
very
basically
excited about that.
sets the standard. Yeah.
Exactly. And what will be great about this is all these other licensed companies, when they want to do future upgrades, they're basically going to have to buy through us.
Hmm. Yeah.
No, every man, doing everything for themselves. They're going to have to go through us. They're going to have to use our equipment. They're going to have to use our gear. They're going to have to use our standards. And it's not so much about making money, but it's just making sure that everything's done the right way, safe way, nothing's getting abused, and making a win-win-win situation for everybody involved.
Yeah.
But it is nice to make money off of that as well.
Yeah.
All right, Sakib, how many people do we have in here? We've got
We have,
14. What is this? Is this a record?
I think
Have we
so.
ever had 14 people in the
I don't
audience
I don't think we
before?
have had 14 people before. Did you want to talk about our miners, our miner order before we move on to the exciting portion?
Well, it's neither here nor there. We have to wait until tomorrow, and
Exactly.
even as such, on the 7th, I don't, the Chinese can be kind of hit or miss. When they're there, but sometimes they take a holiday and an extra day, especially if it's like a Saturday.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know. Yeah.
that's kind of
Well,
what I
we've never
wanted
had any
to.
problem dealing with them on Sunday,
No, no, they're usually
right?
available
We
on Sunday,
we
and
placed orders on Sunday.
yeah,
Okay.
that's kind of what I wanted to bring up is, I don't know if everyone saw my message or saw our message, but the Chinese were on holiday this week. Otherwise, we would have already ordered the miners. But they're supposed to be back tomorrow. Worst case, it'll be Sunday, and we should have our miner order done, gone through.
I mean, that's the great thing about crypto is, we're not beholden to banks. So,
Hmm.
if the bank's not online, that's not a problem. We can still
Yeah.
just send the payment in crypto, and everything will be fine. Um, so yeah, I'm expecting to move forward with the order either tomorrow, Sunday at the latest. And we're still, we haven't decided between the 118s, the 120s, or the 122s.
Hmm.
Um, there's some advantages and disadvantages to them. One of the advantages is you get a higher hash rate machine. You need less machines. Less machines means less shipping. Less shipping means cheaper overall cost. There's a give and take to everything. But if you get lower terahash machines, you get more machines, and you actually can kind of
Get more
nip out that
terahash.
last little, yeah, kilovolt of power, and ultimately get more hash over. But um, hopefully we'll be able to get more powerful machines than what we were anticipating. Again, it's just going to be math, and what's going to give us the max hash rate for the power that we've got. That's going to decide that. I don't think cost is going to be as much of a factor, because the difference is only like 3 or 4 machines between
Yeah.
118s and 122s, right? So you're
Right.
going to 4 machines less, but you're going to get slightly more hash rate with the lower hash rate machines, because you're able to squeeze more in. Um, but then, if you run things too close and you overload the circuit, then the circuit breaker chips, and then all of a sudden the power company's at your door, like, what's going on? You're using too much power. It's always a give and take, guys. Like, you've always got to find that balance, right? But rest assured, we'll have it figured out, and we'll get it sorted out. But hopefully, the goal, the objective, is to get higher hash rate machines, and that will give you guys more stability in your payouts. So if we ever had a machine go down or something, we've got a buffer. We've got a reserve of hash that we can use to fill in the gaps there if that were to happen. Without Any questions? Does anybody have any questions? Okay, so are you waiting on negotiations with them before deciding? Um, Tasman, it's not really a negotiation thing.
Negotiation.
It's
Yeah.
it's really a math situation,
Yeah.
right? So we've just got to look at what we can squeeze into the power that we have available. And like I said, if it costs an extra $100 or $200, for that, um, it, that's negligible. That's, the money or the cost is not the consideration. It's how can we maximize the block of power that we have available? How can
Yeah.
we get the highest yield out of that power? Because people think mining is all about the mining machines. It's really not. It's about the power. The power is your
Yeah.
resource. And so you have to be respectful and responsible with that power and get the maximum yield that you can get out of it. So it's more
Yeah.
of a math issue. It's not a negotiation
Yeah.
issue.
I mean, the 118s, the 120s, and the 122s, they're all the same efficiency. So it just really depends
Yeah,
on
yeah.
how much terahash we can get in.
You can squeeze out of that block of
Yeah,
power.
exactly.
Right. So yeah, as far as negotiations go, I think we're getting the same rate per terahash between all three machines. So it really doesn't matter.
He said, guess I was just curious why that decision hasn't been made yet. It's a good thing they were on holiday until tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, we got
Well,
more.
I mean, the decision would be there. Let me put it this way: there's no absolute right or wrong here, guys. There's good, better, best.
Mhm.
That's it, right? So if we chose the 122 Ts, yes, there would be less machines that we would put on site, and overall we would get slightly less terahash. Or if we chose the middle ground, the 120 Ts, again, better. We get slightly more terahash, but we're going to pay more for shipping because we're shipping more machines and we're running closer to that threshold of maxing out the power. And then we've got best 118s where we could squeeze in the maximum amount of machines, get the maximum amount of terahash.
Mhm.
Um, but we're really running close to that threshold. So it's there's no wrong answer.
Yeah,
There's a good, better, best, and that's what we're just deciding on. What's good, what's better, and what's best.
yeah. Well, we have 15
It's
members.
more of like
Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, I'm gonna say it's more just about my fucking OCD, to be honest. Like I've got terrible OCD and like numbers have to all like match up and be beautiful in my head and that's the real issue here. It's
Yeah.
it's just my stupidity. Yeah.
Well, I
So
mean, if China was
it's nothing for
available,
you guys to worry about. Yeah.
it would have been ordered already, but
I,
since they were not, so
yeah, we would have gone with the 122s, right?
yeah,
Um, but now that you guys have bought a few more NFTs, that kind of soaks up some of our things. It changes our strategy just a little bit. Again, this is minutia of detail. This is like OCD stuff. It's nothing that you guys need to be worried about or concerned about. It's just me and trying to be a perfectionist in everything that I do because that's just the nature of who I am as a human being. Should probably take some medication for that. I do. The medication I take is called Dubai.
yeah, right,
Yeah, it comes in inhalable form, right? You can just
yeah,
inhale the energy of Dubai and you feel better.
true.
But see,
All right.
you've seen me do this with code,
Oh, of
right?
course.
When we write code and we do websites and, I'll nitpick over the shape of a button.
Yeah,
It's a button, folks. You click on it, it works, right? What does it matter what color it is or what shape it is or, what the press state is or what the active state is? Like, these are things most people don't care about. They don't worry about. But these are things that I worry about, that I care about.
yeah. So Tasman was saying about it being related to the additional capital. So all of that is going to be used towards um, the additional capital that
So
we
yeah,
have.
let
Yeah.
me let me explain a little bit more about this, Tasman. So just so you can see the fine grained depth of the problem. So initially we were going to order 55 units of the 122 Ts, right? And I think 50 units were going to belong to the Monopoly project, and 5 units were going to be just our personal mining machines. We're going to just mine with those machines ourselves. And then what happened is we got more NFTs. And so now of those 55 machines, I think like 54
Hmm.
are being used, which kind of soaks up our ability. We've only got one machine running for ourselves. So what we decided to do is change the strategy and put in the 118 Ts because then that gives us more headroom of hash that we can, squeeze out for ourselves.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I can show you our numbers and like how it all,
Yeah. I mean,
how it all comes across.
if you calculate 15 terahash times however many NFTs were sold, you'll see how we're coming up with the 54, 55, M50, M50 122s.
No, it was like 51 for
Yeah, it was
Monopoly,
51
and
for
then,
Monopoly,
you know,
and
the
then
other the
now,
other five were for us.
yeah. You want to share your screen?
Yeah, let's see here. Well, I'll just run the math here.
Okay.
Because it's calculated. Okay, so we've got 412 now.
Hmm.
So 412
Times
times
15,
15. Okay, so we're looking at
6180.
6180 total terahash. And
Hmm.
then I'll pull up our interface here, cryptbooks.com, and I'll log in and I'll go to our cool little mining tool that we custom made and built. And we'll look at now we're moving on the 230 kVA site first, Sakib.
Yeah. Actually, we're moving on the 200
Or no,
kVA
no, no.
site
We decided to
first.
go to the 200.
Yeah.
Okay, we decided to go to the 200 kVA. So we'll put in 200. Or didn't I figure out like 1.8 was our power block, and then the rest was overhead that we needed just to keep from blowing fuses and stuff?
Yeah. True. 0.18.
No, Sakib, I need your confirmation, man. I don't need your agreement.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean from the 200 kVA, if we're using 90%, that's 180.
Okay, that's what I wanted to confirm.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here. One, two. All right. So what that comes to is a total hash rate. If we go with the 118s, we can squeeze in 54 units with a total hash rate of 6,372, and we need 6,180.
Hmm.
If we go with the 120s, we can do 6,480, which those now look the most attractive because they have the most headroom. And if we go with the 122s, we can only do 6,466. So the way the math is all jiving right now, guys, is that the 120s are mathematically what we need to go for because that's going to mathematically give us the greatest headroom. And it's that simple minutia. So as you guys buy more NFTs, it changes the scale of the numbers, and we have to kind of reevaluate things and recalculate things. So when those sort of things happen, your initial conditions and your initial plan also have to be dynamic and flexible to adjust to the scenario. So if more NFTs are bought, then obviously we're going to need more hash rate, and that's where more headroom is going to be valuable to us.
Yeah.
All right. It looks like the price differential is negligible. It's
Hmm.
only like $1,000.
Yeah.
Between the cheapest machines and the most expensive machines. Not even 1,000. It's like $800. So the money's not really the issue. It's just getting the max hash
Hash
result
rate.
for,
Yeah.
yeah, getting the maximum hash rate for your buy.
Exactly.
Let's see. Uh-oh. 50 more NFTs added tomorrow. See, that's going to change some things, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna if there was 50.
So let's see. We have.
Let's do the numbers here. All right. So if we add 50 to what we currently have, which is 412 plus 50,
462.
that's 462 times 15. So that means we're going to need 6930.
Hmm.
And the only way we're going to get to 6930 is if we use up that headroom. I don't see. I mean, we could do it with M56s, M56S, but those are hydros.
Hmm.
Let's see. Um,
With the 122s, we'd need
Yeah, let's
about
go ahead and see.
56.
Well, yeah, let me change the power. So, yeah, we can squeeze it. It's going to be really close if
Hmm.
somebody buys an extra
50.
50, but it's still looking like the 120s are going to give us the most hash rate for the power that we've got available.
So that we
And that
can
would be
squeeze in
60
more.
units.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that would be 7,200
Hmm.
terahash is what we can squeeze out of those. And again, this is nominal too, guys. Like, these machines, they don't hash at like a perfect steady hash rate. They go up a little bit, they go down, and so it's an average over time.
Right.
Um, Somebody saying, make me do the math. You guys will come to see that, I'm always doing math. Like I'm always just rattling numbers around in my head. But um, just to give you transparency and clarity, the reason why things are kind of just, I wouldn't say changing dramatically, but again, it's just trying to squeeze out that maximum last little bit of efficiency out of the, what we have available.
Campbell.
Yes, they can be overclocked, but we generally don't overclock machines that are air cooled,
Yeah.
um, just because the nature of air, and also as I've explained before to you guys, when you overclock, you need to upgrade the power supplies because factory power supplies aren't really made to do much beyond what the machines were rated to,
Hmm.
and it just starts creating all kinds of other
And
problems. Now with hydro, that is something that we will be able to do, and that's what we're working with our partners in the U.S. and North America, to create a turnkey hydro system that can literally just be dropped into place,
yeah,
connected to the medium tension, and ready to run.
exactly.
Um,
Like with air, I mean, you're kind of
there,
reducing the
yeah,
lifespan. You're kind of reducing the lifespan because you're having like a constant.
not kind of, you're
Yeah.
absolutely reducing the lifespan of the PSU and the lifespan of the chips themselves. Now the What's miners, they're robust, they're like
Yeah.
tanks, and they can handle a lot more abuse than your Bitmain
S19s.
products.
Yeah.
But again, guys, like this is, well, first of all, you're not going to get any benefit from overclocking. We're going to get the benefit because we get that overhead.
Right.
You guys just get what's promised, which is the 15 terahash, right? So like we could go to infinity and beyond above that, but you guys are still going to get what's promised. Now,
But yeah, we want to
so
be,
yeah, there's
we
really
want
no
to make,
sense in,
I mean, what I'm saying is we want to
we're
make
not
sure
greedy.
that,
There's no sense
yeah,
in putting your gear.
exactly. We don't want to put your gear under any risk so that there's any issues when you go to sell the gear. So we want it to be
Yeah,
reliable
yeah,
and in good condition when we go to sell the gear.
consistent. Yeah. Yeah, trust us when we say, guys, that we want to make sure you're well taken care of, and that's a smart move. Is not to, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If it's
Yeah.
delivering for you guys, if it's reliable and it's consistent, it's not going to benefit you to overclock it. It would benefit us because we would get the overhead hash. So yeah, it's not broke, don't fix it. It's nothing that we want to focus on now. I will be excited to show you guys our other operations, and when we're playing with our own money,
Hmm.
the risks that we're taking and the things that we're doing. Like when we go to Oman and we meet with Jod and we go over his operations and understand everything that he's doing. I'm more than happy to share with you guys that stuff and geek out on that stuff. But we're not going to do that to your gear.
Yeah.
It's not a
Irresponsible.
responsible thing to do.
Exactly.
Irresponsible. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're
Great questions. Without
we're
further ado, let's do this. Let's do this drawing here. Let's find out who our winners are.
okay.
And the way we're going to do this, I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah.
The
Go
way we're
ahead.
going to do this is I'm going to click the generator button 10 times. And on the 10th click, whatever that number it lands on, that will be the winner. Now, of the three winners, you will have 24 hours to contact Sakib or myself,
Hmm.
and coordinate everything. We're going to need your passport details. We're going to need you to sign a, a waiver, in case something happens, like you get a grain of sand in your eye and it gets infected and you lose your eyesight, like we're not responsible for that. Just kind of, obvious stuff. Um, if you're not able to do those things within 24 hours, then we will select another winner at random. It won't be done publicly as a drawing, but just giving you guys a heads up. It's not something that we can really dilly-dally on. If we look at my calendar, it is just absolutely packed and nuts for October. Let me see if I can pull that up and give you guys a screenshot of that. Yeah, I mean it's literally just off the chain, our calendar this month. So we're gonna appreciate okay, appreciate your prompt and timely contact and response to us so we can coordinate things and get everything done right. So without further ado, I will share my screen and we will get this party started.
All right.
Let's see here.
So it's going to be the
Random number
membership number.
generator.
So just make sure that you know what your membership number
Yeah,
is. Yeah.
yeah.
All
And
right.
everybody let me know when you can see my screen.
I can see your screen.
All right, we'll kind of I'll do a zoom in, but like this is to give you guys an idea of like and we're not even like we're gonna have to add more shit to this.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
this calendar is just off the chain here. Okay, so let's go here to the random number generator, and I'm gonna zoom in so it's nice and big for everybody. And we're gonna start off with our third place winner. So I'm going to click this 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that would be holder number 1. And I think I know who holder number 1 is because I bought the first membership NFT and they won that NFT from me in
Oh,
another competition. So congratulations. Holder number 1, you are a winner twice. What kind of luck is that? That is
holy.
crazy. You are a third place winner. Sakib, can you please record number 1 as the third place?
Yeah, let me just write third place. Yeah, third place winner.
Okay.
Third place
Third
winner.
place,
There we go.
third place winner is member number 1 who actually won that membership. So that membership has paid you in spades. All right, let's go on to winner number 2. We're going to generate here. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here it goes 10.
Number
51.
51.
Member number 51. Yeah, Blue Rooster is like pumped. I bet you're excited, dude. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. This is the Google number random generator, so this is not any code or any fakery or shenanigans
Yeah.
by us. You can verify it yourself if you want to go to random number generator between two numbers and put in a minimum value and maximum value. So this is third party. We're not cheating here. Let's find out who our first place winner is. I'm going to press this 10 more times. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here we go. 10. Boom. Number 17. You are our first place winner. Our first place winner is number 17. All right. Rooster, I know, like, Rooster's like, he's like, I can't type fast enough.
And
Congratulations to the winners, guys. And we look forward to seeing you guys all here. And
okay, so Blue Rooster can't
okay,
can't
so
make it.
number 3. Okay, the
You
third place winner has um,
you
already
you
said that they can't make it.
you want to do it live? Just the third place winner again?
Yeah, let's do a redraw for the third place winner live. Somebody said they need help on finding the membership number.
I'll
Sakib is
help you.
going
Yeah.
to coordinate the wallet addresses with the membership number. We're going to go ahead and do a redraw for the third place winner. Sakib, make sure you change the numbers
Yes,
once we
I
get
have.
a revised number for number 3. Here we go. I'm going to press it 10 times. Let's get this done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here's number 10.
Number 38.
38. 38. Number 38, you are our number three, third place winner. If the second place and the first place winner are unable to come for whatever reason, and you guys are here, please let us know, and we'll go ahead and do the redraw.
Hmm.
No, I'm not having any sound issues. Can you hear me okay,
Yeah,
Sakib?
I can hear you just fine.
I can hear you just fine.
Yeah. All good again. Okay, so maybe it was just a connection issue on his end or
Okay.
something.
Maybe it's just, yeah, a connectivity issue. Um, Congratulations, number
Congratulations to
38, number 51, and number lucky, number 17.
17.
I
Yeah.
look forward to hearing from you guys. Again, if we do not hear back from you within 24 hours, if you do not reach out to us within 24 hours, which would be exactly this time tomorrow, we will go ahead and at random select another winner, another number. I love 42, Dark Lord. Yeah, 42 is like my favorite number. It's the number to life, the universe, and everything. And I saw that pop up, and I wanted to say something, but I just had to press the button again and and get to our winner.
Ooh, Rebels number
Um,
17. So Rebels are first place winner.
Rebel,
Yeah.
awesome. And Rebel said he couldn't make it, right? He said
Yep.
this is going to be the first one I'm going to miss. Well, good thing you didn't miss it, Rebel, because you are our grand winner. So awesome. Yeah, definitely coordinate with us, and we'll make all the arrangements and get your ticket spot and everything. And I just want to thank all of you guys
Yeah.
for being a part of this project with us. And I know it's not getting traction like other projects that are out there. I don't know why, to be honest with you. I think we made a very strong case of how real we are, how genuine we are, and how serious we are at what we do.
Hmm.
And for some reason, it just didn't click with the public. And it could be the bear market, it could be whatever. I will say this though: everybody who does participate in Monopoly, you will be getting payouts very soon. And while everybody else is struggling in their projects and they're making delays and excuses and having political problems and whatever infrastructure problems, we won't be having that, and you'll be able to tell everybody like, this is where it's at. And I think I pointed out yesterday, like, we might not be the best. I don't ever like to say I'm the best because there's always room for improvement,
Hmm.
but we were the first,
Yeah.
right? We were the first to do a lot of real stuff in the space. And I hope, you know it's like a seed, right? You plant it in the ground and it doesn't do anything for a while, but eventually it begins to grow and it begins to blossom. And once that catches on into the minds of everybody out in the general public, hopefully it'll change things. Hopefully it'll make the space better. It'll make the space more transparent, more reliable, more consistent. That's
Yeah.
what I'm hoping for, at least.
Well, that was our goal from the beginning, is we wanted to set an example. We didn't really want this to put money, to line our pockets or anything. We wanted to do this to be an
Oh yeah,
example.
we're
Yeah.
the only thing that we're making off of this is just our 10% cut that's in our white paper. Like literally every penny. That's the whole reason why I said, hey Sakib, you want to fly some dudes over
Hmm.
because we're gonna have a little bit of money left in the till after we set everything up. And that's your money. That's not my money. That's not Sakib's money. We've got our own money. We don't. I don't want to like sound rude or anything, but we don't need your money. Like the reason why you're engaging with us is because we want to do something smart with your money. We want to help
Right.
your money grow into lots of little baby monies to make other little baby monies and grow, right? That's
Right.
why you're engaging with us, right? It's not so, we can just cut off this big swath of fat and put it in our pockets. And when you look at things, what have we raised? About $160,000?
Yeah, I would say about that. Yeah.
Okay, we raised about $160,000, and we are able to do roughly about a quarter of a megawatt of mining with that $160,000. So let's put that in the scale of other projects, right? So other projects have raised $1 million plus to barely do a megawatt worth of mining.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, let's just multiply the numbers. Let's just do the simple math here, right? That comes to about $600,000 our cost.
Yeah.
So where did $400,000 of your money go?
Line in their
If that's what
pockets.
it should cost. Yeah, where did $400,000 of your money go? That's nearly a $500,000. Where did nearly a $500,000 of your money go?
I mean, that
Right?
was their intention.
Yeah. It's simple math. The
Yeah.
numbers don't add up.
Hmm.
Um, and we saw that. We could see that, like I said, I'm a numbers guy. I could see that instantly. And I'm just like, yeah, this is wrong. I
Exactly.
mean, in my opinion, it should be criminal.
Yeah.
But
And
people
then,
keep throwing money at them. People keep, they keep making new projects and people just keep throwing money at them. So what can I do? Like
yeah, yeah,
I can't fix that. I can't,
yeah,
I can't change that. But yeah, I like I said, we're gonna set ourselves apart. And while these other projects are still struggling, I think we're gonna set a record from like zero to mining in less than 90 days, which I think is phenomenal. And that's what you guys deserve. That was our
exactly.
intention.
Yeah,
All right. That being said, guys, a great AMA. I'm very excited to meet the three lucky winners
yeah, same here.
and spend some time with you guys and share what we love doing with you guys. And hopefully the beard will remain on fleek, in that time. And also, introduce you to our connections and contacts at Blockchain Life
Yeah,
and just, yeah, have a good time with you guys. Life is
exactly.
too short to be crying or feeling bad, like enjoy life. Life is meant to be enjoyed, and I
Yeah,
look forward to enjoying it with you.
yeah, likewise. And I will have this
If anybody,
recorded and uploaded in a little bit, and I will also make an announcement and both the free parking and major announcements about the three winners and how they have to reach out to us within 24 hours and everything.
perfect. All right.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
Take
See you
care,
next
guys.
time. All
See
right,
ya.
bye.